Sorry, I was trying to wrap up and probably going a little too fast. This is where we left. I was getting some errors. So if I go save this, oh, it got rid of the errors. So we've set the next button to disabled when page number is equal to the total number of pages. So if there's 5 pages and we're at 5, we don't want them to be able to click on next. Same thing here. When we're on page 1, then so if the page number is 1, we don't want to have them be able to click on it, right? And then in order for us to see which page we're on, it's nice in this, so as we're building the individual page buttons, to do something to not allow us to, click on it to have it look like it should. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing in this button tag. So inside the button tag, after the on click, I'm going to say the disabled for this one is when what? Page num is equal to whatever index I'm on plus 1. I like to do that in parentheses even though it doesn't care. For me, it makes it easier. So whatever index is plus 1, no underscore. I don't know how that got in there. Space. So that way they can't click on the button if it's the button, as we're building the buttons, as it's building buttons 1 through 5, if it's the button we're on, 3, then I don't want them to be able to click on that. And so I'll save that, and we're going to do one other thing here in a second. Let's just see how this looks currently. So you can see now, actually, that's fine. I was going to put some bootstrap in there to make it so it highlights. You can make it so like this one's comes out in blue, and then these have a nice blue outline, but the one that's selected is blue. But I kind of like this look with the disabled showing which page we're on. That looks good to me. And so if we do a small number, so if we say 5 now, it's going to build 5 pages, and we can say that, we can click next, we can move back and forth. So we've added pagination into our app, and it's working great. But more importantly, we've learned, just as I say it's working great, when we went to 10, suddenly we're not working. All right, I don't know why that did that. 10, that worked fine. Oh, because we were already on page, I see what happened. We were on page 5, and then we went to 10. Then we need to go back and reset that. And that's actually easy enough to fix. So if we go into on the change here, when we do our drop down, we can just add in a second, we can say, in the on change though. So when this changes, we're going to set the obviously the page size to whatever the new page size is, but then we're also going to, let's see, how can I make this obvious? So this is the first thing we're doing, and then the second thing we're doing, we'll make this a semicolon. The second thing we'll do is we'll set, wait, I've done that wrong. Let me do it right. We want to have the brace here. And so this is the first thing we're doing as part of that function. And then the second thing we're going to do is set the what? We're going to set the page num. If they've chosen a new size, which page num do we want to go to? And hopefully you're saying, yes, we want to go back to 1. All right, so I saved that. I've still got an error. Did I do something wrong? I've got that brace, that brace. We're missing our red brace. Okay, now we're good. So now when we try it, save, and we go back and forth, if I do the same thing, so if I make a really small size like 5, I go to page 5, and then I go to 10, it'll now work because we're resetting that page number back to 1. And this is another great example. All of these are just principles, right? We're using them applied to this idea of pagination in the app, but all of them are principles that we could use for other things as we go through and build our app. And so it's not just about pagination. That's one aspect of this set of videos. The other aspect is just things like, how do we get information up to the server to change the request? How do we get information from the server, multiple pieces of information, back down to React, right? Back down to the client. And, just more about setting state, more about using the effect and how we have to put in this dependency array, those things that we're watching for, if they change, to go ahead and make a new request and go pull the data. Dynamically creating buttons or dynamically creating things is a very normal thing. And so anyway, lots of principles here that are going to be important to us going forward. And hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully this is interesting to you. And we'll just continue learning in the next series. Spencer, out.